Hey there, Statesman Nation. Welcome to another season preview. Today, I am with head coach Michael Laird from the baseball team. Coach Laird, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I wish the weather would change a little bit so we could get out, but we're doing fine. We're doing real good.
That's good. That's good. So, before we get into kind of what you're rolling with this year as far as your team goes, let's talk about a little bit last year. So, last year, before the season got cut short due to COVID, you were 20-10 on the year, 4-4 in conference. So, what was going well for you guys last year?
Well, we had a lot of guys back from the 19 team that won the league, and then we had some good new additions that came in as well. And unfortunately, though, I mean, the fact we played 30 games was great before the COVID shutdown, but we also had an awful lot of injuries. Very more than probably any year since I've been here.
Some key players.
So we had a lot of guys in and out of the lineup, sometimes 3 or 4 starters, and lost some close games out of those 10 games that we wish we could have gotten back. But we had a decent year, and we got a decent amount of games in and got to assess, the new guys and stuff. So almost all those guys are back, so we're really looking forward to this year.
That's good. That's good. So last year was a bit of a new situation for everybody, kind of unprecedented, cut season short, made things different with recruiting and stuff. So how did that affect your off-season training and prep and your recruiting and all that kind of things?
Boy, that's a good question, man. I'm not sure I ever did figure out, to be honest about it, I don't think I ever did figure out the recruiting scheme or strategy for last year. It was typically we're recruiting a lot of more of our transfers in the spring and even into the summer in some cases, and that was a lot of that didn't happen.
Yeah.
It just didn't, and fortunately we got a lot of guys back that were good players, of course, and we got most of our freshmen signed in the fall, so we were okay that way, but we certainly didn't. The recruiting was really a lot different, and it was way more difficult, and didn't get out to see guys.
Well, as you mentioned, you did get a lot of guys back as they did get their year of eligibility back. So we're just going to start going position by position and kind of give me a look at what kind of position battles we got going on. So we'll start in the infield. Let's start at first base.
First base, Jared Hunt is the returning starter. He was like honorable mention All-League in 19, and also Gold Glove. He's a good player, very good player. He's a middle of the order hitter. I think he was hitting 408 after 30 games, last year.
Steals too.
Yeah, and he surprisingly for a big guy, he runs very, very well. He's quick, and so he was leading us in stolen bases as well. 225-pound first baseman. That's not normal.
Not something you usually see.
No, and so he's at first. Soren Graverson, who transferred in from Indian Hills last year, big lefty. Who really has potential to hit the long ball. He's probably backing that up right now, and he may very well be our designated hitter as well.
Okay, let's just move right up. Let's go to second base.
Second base, Adrian Garcia is back. He had a great year in 19 when we won the league. Had an on-base average of exactly 50%, which I'd take that any year from anybody.
Yep.
And he's a spark plug, dude. He really is. He keeps everybody alive. He keeps everybody focused. If there is a time when, somebody needs a little encouragement, he's the first one to, grab somebody and pat him on the back. And I just love the guy. He just brings a lot of energy to the field and to our team and even to the coaches some. So he's a good player, makes all the plays, real quick hands around the bag. He's a good player. And we've got, some other guys that might be looking at, getting some time too. Right now, I like to recruit, to be honest about it. I like to recruit guys that are a little bit interchangeable. I want to say a whole bunch of utility guys, but I think we've got several guys that can play both sides of the infield and maybe third mix too. So got some other guys that might have a chance to get in there as well, like Franklin Aparicio is a transfer from Iowa Central. Good player. He's really come on here in the last 2 or 3 weeks of practice too. He's a good player. And Denning, who's Stetson Denning has been with us now his 3rd year. He pitches quite a bit, a lot of key innings for us, but he's got good arm strength. He can play either side. And a guy named Zach Edgar, he was out last year with his arm, kind of redshirted.
Mm-hmm.
But Zach's a senior, and he's a very good player. He's a skilled player, and he's a strong guy. He can hit, he can throw, he can pitch a little bit. He can play about anywhere on the infield. He's a good player too, so he's got a chance to pick up some time at second.
All right, so let's move across the infield here. Let's go to shortstop.
Shortstop's probably going to be Snyder Torrealba, who was our starter last year. He did a real nice job over there. And then Denning is right there with him. I mean, when Snyder was hurt last year, Stetson stepped in at short. It was amazing. I mean, he would come in sometimes middle of a game and get a couple rods hit at him, and he just he just made all plays.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's a real strong arm. Like I said, we used him a lot on the hill, though, so
yeah.
it was a little bit limited there. But also, again, Edgar could be in the mix there, and Aparicio as well.
Sounds like you got a lot of options, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, you're for sure, especially in the middle. You don't want to be stuck with two guys and something happens, you're in big trouble.
Mm-hmm. Let's round out the infield. Let's go to third base.
Third base is interesting. Dominic Bravo, big kid out of Los Angeles Harbor. He's been here now. This will be his third year with the COVID year. For a big guy, he's got really good hands. Very, very, good strong arm. Very accurate across the infield. And he's got some pop in the bat. He can drive the ball. Good dude, really good guy. Also Carson Hawk. I need to mention him for sure. Carson stepped in when Dominic was hurt a great deal of the COVID year, and Hawk is outstanding on defense. He makes all the plays. He's a lefty stick. If his stick comes around, that would really help him get in the game a little bit more.
Yeah.
But he's kind of a utility guy that can play second as well. And but it's good, like you say, it's good to have a lot of those guys that can move around a little bit in case.
Oh yeah. Let's move into the outfield. Let's start at left field.
Left field's probably Tanner Badier. Tanner's a dude. He's came as a freshman 2 years ago in 19, and I think he was our best hitter as a freshman.
Yeah.
He hit 386. He hit 6 home runs. Nothing phases this guy. And on top of it, he's a 4.0 student. What's not to like about the guy?
Yeah.
And he pitches as well.
Mm-hmm.
So Tanner will have that locked down probably, and he'll be hitting 2 or 3, something like that in the lineup. And also, we'll be looking at him to pitch some too.
Mm-hmm. All right, and let's just move right along. Let's go to center field.
Center field is Alex Fisher, the Australian Scorpion, I call him. He's an Indian Hills transfer, and this guy he's really improved this year. As far as his approach to plate, as far as his ability to load up, and really, he's got good arm strength too. He's got very good arm strength. His mechanics have gotten a lot better. He started at Indian Hills, but he didn't have like that little league experience all the way up for 15 years type, like a lot of people in the States have.
Yeah.
And so he's still learning the game a little bit. But man, that guy, he's a pretty good player right now. He's a very good player right now, and he's got skills.
Oh.
And so he may see some time on the hill also because he's got very good arm strength.
Yeah. And let's move to right field.
Right field is going to be Jamison Hart more than likely. Hart was out there last year. He was our four-hole hitter the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season. He was leading the league in RBIs. He had 39 RBIs in 30 games. Mm-hmm. And he's a big dog, about 235-pound guy, and hits from the left side. Really drives the ball, RBI guy. And he's improved in the outfield defensively. We also may look to him to do a little on the bump work as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a good arm, so probably him. I've got another guy who's looking. A couple guys. McLean is back. McLean's been here 3 years. McLean has very good speed, and also a guy named new freshman from South Dakota named Rhett Zielinski.
Okay.
Zielinski is a plus athlete. He's a very, very good athlete, really good bat speed. A kid can run.
Mm-hmm.
Big kid, 6'3", 215, and he can really run. And he's really serious.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he really competes. He's got a couple little things to, clean up with his swing. He's got a little bit of a long swing right now, but once he figures that out, he's going to be really dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
He's a good player.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the battery. Let's start at catcher.
Catcher is, we've got some good work with the catchers this year, and I think we've seen a lot of improvement with some guys. Probably, Vernon is back there.
Yep.
He's much improved defensively. I think we just almost wore him down. He caught almost at literally every inning.
Yeah.
And, so in credit to him, he was able to withstand that last year. And I think he hit 6 home runs. Some of them, the ball's still traveling. I mean, he ran into some.
Mm-hmm.
And he has adjusted his approach to the plate since he came here a little bit. I mean, he's still going to launch the ball, so to speak, and he's big enough to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm good with that. But his approach to the right side and up the middle has gotten a lot better. And he struggled a little bit, so early with certain pitches in certain locations,
Mm-hmm.
certain speeds. But the last 3 weeks or so of the season, he was locked in.
Yep.
He was really locked in, and he hustles all the time. I mean, got good arm strength, and so mechanically he's made some adjustments. He could be really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, we've got Jalen Jones out of Ottumwa. He's looked really good. He's kind of a utility guy. Jones is really defensively very strong behind the dish, and I really like Jones. He's a tough kid. And then Alex Pereira, who was here last year. Alex is better too. So those guys are getting better. They definitely are getting better, and had an opportunity to do some drills that we didn't do as well or as much last year with Coach Ibarra, who's helping us out this year. It's really helped a lot with those guys.
Nice. All right, we'll move into the pitching staff, and we'll start with the starting pitching.
Well, Chase Stratton.
Yep.
Is back, and Chase, he, as you know, I mean, he was first team all conference in 19. He's got the potential to be anybody, literally.
Yep.
And lefty has just got very high spin rate, breaking stuff. His Achilles heel somewhat has been, staying ahead of the hitter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and having to, maybe throw few too many 3-ball counts.
Mm-hmm.
So we've talked about that. He knows that, and if he can limit that a little bit, he just can be dominating.
Yeah.
And stay away from the 3-ball counts and put people in play a little bit earlier, because he's going to strike out 1.5 guys per inning all the time.
Yep.
He's going to do that. So, but he's back. He will probably have a very good year. He'll probably be our number 1 guy.
Mm-hmm.
Other potential starters are probably Tyler Gregory, who threw a lot. We rode him pretty heavy last year, and man, he stepped up. I think he was 5-1 for us, maybe, and used him in a number of capacities. From starter to middle relief to close and all that. And when he gets down the hill, and he's pretty good. Mm-hmm. He's got stuff, and he competes. They're good guys. They get after it. Denning will be throwing a lot. I think Denning was 5-1. We use Denning a lot too, and he's got good stuff. He's not gonna light up the radar gun or anything, but he's got stuff. His ball moves. He changes speeds well. He can locate 3 pitches. So he's a tough dude, just because he can change speed and his ball's never in the same place.
Yeah.
2 pitches in a row.
Oh, yeah.
Teddy Natter is back. He had a couple really good outings. He had a couple tough ones, but he hung right in there with a couple teams that were really pretty good teams last year. He's another lefty. He's got plus stuff from the left side. Mm-hmm. Real high spin rate. He's got a lot of movement on his fastball. When he's if he's on, he can beat just about anybody as
Yep.
well. So he and Stratton, two lefties that
Yep.
can take care of business. So and we got a number of other guys. Brian Thomas is a new guy that came in from American River College.
Okay.
I like him a lot. He really competes. He's got he's an upper 80s guy that's got stuff, and he gets after it. He could definitely be a starter for us. And there's Michael Carr, lefty, who threw quite a bit for us. Michael's looked good with his breaking stuff. Jake Weichman could start for us, and he's a good player. He's got good stuff. He's got real good stuff. So, and then we got a freshman that I think is going to throw quite a bit for us. His name's Ty Harder. He's out of Galesburg, Illinois. Ty's a big old country boy, if you know what I mean. And that kid works hard, and he's very coachable. He's improved a lot. He's gotten a lot stronger here. He's going to see some innings. He's going to see some innings. Then we've got Crampton. Crampton was back last year. He got a couple appearances late in the year and did pretty well. He's got if he can be consistent, he can be in there somewhat.
Yep.
And then we've got our outfielders, like I said.
Yeah.
Fisher has looked pretty darn good for somebody who hasn't pitched very much. He's looked
Yeah.
pretty decent. And Badir, of course, has been a starter before in 19. Badir's, he's usually money when he gets in there. But we're looking to maybe not have him as much of a starter as somebody to come in and close, just because he's a dual guy, And Hart as well out there. And Flores has got a shot too. Flores is a junior for us. So those are probably the main guys.
Okay. Was that the starters and the bullpen?
That was the whole thing. Yeah,
Okay,
I
yeah.
kind of just I didn't shut up. I just
No, it's
kept
okay.
going,
Just wanted to let you go.
And we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
At this point in the year, the roles will change as we kind of figure some stuff out, and hopefully the staying weather, lets us get some games in so we can figure it out.
Sounds like you got a lot of familiarity on the roster. Does that help you? Does that help you coach them, or just because you?
Oh, it helps a lot. It helps a lot. I need to mention another guy too, Nick George. Nick's a freshman, a big kid that can really hit from the left side, and Nick could pitch some also.
Yep.
He's a utility guy. We move him pretty much like he can catch some. He can play corner infield, and he can pitch. And this kid's serious. He's like Zielinski. He's like Ty Harder. I mean, there's some freshmen right there. They're big kids that are very competitive, and they've got some athleticism. And as they develop their skills, they're gonna make an impact on our program.
Nice.
So, but yeah, to your point, very definitely it helps a ton to have these guys back. The thing I love about this group, and I told them last night, I mean, the culture of the team is very positive, and it was the last couple of years, as a matter of fact, and has to do with their character, directly related to their character. They're good guys. They're good guys, and they all want to win. They support each other, and they're glad to be here. They work hard at practice all the time. So the only thing is, almost everybody else has got everybody back too. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
Oh yeah. So you guys start your season off next weekend in Texarkana.
Yep.
Where the weather seems like it would be a little bit better than it is here
Yeah,
right now for
I
baseball.
hope. Although, I mean, I looked at the long range forecast. It looks kind of wet and not great, but hopefully that'll blow through down there.
Yeah.
That's a good team. It's a very good team. Very, very good team. I've known their coach for a lot of years, and they will have had at least 8 games in, and of course they've been outside all second semester.
Yeah,
so it'll be a definite tester.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping we can go out there and do as well as we can, but frequently early in the year, things can't happen when you haven't been outside. So
Sure.
hopefully we'll be able to avoid that.
Oh, what's the conference outlook looking like this year? As you mentioned, most teams are going to be getting their dudes back. So
Oh yeah.
what's the conference looking like
Well,
this year?
I think we were picked 4th out of 14, and I don't know if that's really where we fit in or not. Somewhere, I mean, Central Methodist is right now. I'd say they were the cream of the crop. They're ranked in the top 10.
Okay.
They have so many dudes, and they got dudes that came in, and they're very good.
Yep.
Clark is very good. he gets tons of transfers. I think they've got almost every year they got 40-some juniors and seniors on their team, and I don't know how they figure that out. It would seem like that's going to be real tough to get your lineup out there.
Yeah.
But when you got 40-some juniors and seniors, that's a lot to pick from.
Yeah.
And they get guys from all over. They recruit continually. And I think it would be tough, but they get a lot of talent. You know, Benedictine's going to be really good, real good. They got a preseason All-American, Slayton, and they've got other good guys too. Benedictine's real good. Mid-Am is going to be good. Mid-America's going to be good. They're ranked in the top 25. So, you know, we got to prove it. We got to go out. You know, if we'd like to be ranked. We thought we might have been. You know, blah blah blah. So what? You got to prove it. You know. So.
Sure.
I mean, we were only 4-4 in the league too, which that didn't. You know, we were on the road at last year before the season got shut down at Mid-Am. Well, we split with Mid-Am.
Yep.
Got beat with a walk-off. You know, at their place. So, and then down at Evangel, lost a couple one-run games down there. One was extra innings, and I tell you what, man, anybody that saw that game knew that we didn't necessarily lose that game. I mean, or those games. That was. I shouldn't say, so I won't say any more. But those games we probably really should have won. We won.
I think I'm getting what you're putting down.
Yeah, it was not good. It was really not good.
Yeah.
So that kind of put us behind the hole, going 1-3 right away on the road like that, and then we swept Baker and split with Benedictine here before we went to Arizona. But so man, it's going to be tough. Mount Mercy's really good too.
Yeah.
Mount Mercy's just loaded. Yeah, and Grandview's always tough. Their Grandview's good. I mean, I don't know. The thing I would say with baseball, and I've coached obviously a lot of years, but this league, top to bottom, is as good as any year I can ever remember coaching here. And that's in 3 different conferences we played in during that time.
Yep.
So they're good all the way down, up and down. So
it's gonna be a fun year then.
Yeah, fun, or depends which way the ball bounces sometimes, I guess.
Well, Coach, I'm excited to follow along with you guys for really the first time this next weekend, and
that'll be good, man. I appreciate you being around to help us with that, and the guys they're good guys. They deserve a lot of support. They really do, and I really appreciate their work ethic and high character guys.
Yep.
The culture we have is pretty dang positive, and that's a good thing. If you're a coach, you love that.
Yeah, that's one of the best things you can get. Well, Coach, thank you. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for talking with me.
Thank you, Brian.
First game of the season is going to be February 12th down in Texarkana. You can follow along on the Statesman Sports Network. For myself and for Coach Larry, thank you for joining, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.